Hello, my name is Sean and I am the Coinsultant. Today I'm going to tell you about two-factor authentication and Bitcoin security. Thanks for watching. Okay, so the number one question that I get from a new Bitcoin user is, how do I use my Bitcoins? And I think that a better question to ask especially when starting out with Bitcoins is, how do I use my Bitcoins securely? So we start with the foundation of security, right? So when you hold your Bitcoins online, you are using your computer to log in to that account. So you can simply use a login and password like you do with your email or your Gmail or Yahoo Mail or whatever you use. But there's a better way to do it and a more secure way to do it, and that is called two-factor authentication. So what we do when we use two-factor authentication is we use the first method, the one that you already use, the login and password, but we add a second method, a second layer of security called the second factor. And that is a code that is generated using your cell phone. So this, in effect, forces the bad guy who may want to steal your Bitcoins. He has to get your login and password that you would use on your computer, and he also has to get your code that you would generate on your cell phone. So it's much harder to steal your Bitcoins when you're using two-factor authentication. Using two-factor authentication is free. There are two apps on the Android market that you can use. The first one is called the Google Authenticator. I don't really prefer the Google Authenticator, but I'm going to use it for this presentation just because it's easier. The second one, which I do prefer, is called the Authy app, A-U-T-H-Y. I like the Authy better because it will back up your keys, your two-factor authentication keys for you in the cloud, and it will do it securely. Okay, so when you're using the Google Authenticator app, you have to back them up yourself by printing them or something like that. So let's start with making a Bitcoin wallet. Bitcoin wallet is an account. This one's going to be online. It's an account that you would store your Bitcoins in online, right? So we go start with Google. We're going to type blockchain.info. This is a well-known and reputable wallet supplier. All Bitcoin wallets are free. This information is about what's going on the Bitcoin network right now. We don't really care about that right now. You go to wallet and then start a new wallet. Email. This is where you enter your email naturally. And here's my email. And you're going to put in a password. Make sure it's 10 characters, letters, numbers, and symbols. Okay? Continue. Now this is a mnemonic. I don't know how to say it. Basically it's a master password. All of these words, you need to write them down. It's important. And because if you lose access to your account, you will still be able to recover it if you have this mnemonic. If you don't, then you're out of luck. So you want to write down these words, and I don't recommend that you save them on your computer because it's possible that your computer could be hacked now or at some time in the future. Okay. I'm not going to write it down because this is just for demonstration. Now, you need this as well, your identifier. This is equivalent to your login. So you have your identifier and your password. And I'm not sure why they make people use this long string of numbers. It's kind of confusing, but that's what it is. So you want to write that down too and save it, okay? Put in your password. Open wallet. This wallet is empty. So what we have here is a QR code or also called a barcode, and your Bitcoin address. These are one and the same. The QR code is a representation of your Bitcoin address that computers can read, and we use it for getting paid. Somebody will scan it with their phone when they want to pay you, or you can also use it to check your balance, and so can they, by the way. So a Bitcoin address is equivalent to a bank account number, okay? And it's not a problem if everybody in the world knows this bank account number, because it's a public address and they cannot take your Bitcoins having that address. So the most important thing that we can do right now is activate our two-factor authentication, right? Because we operate with the foundation of security. So we're going to go to our account settings right here. Sensitive data, yes, good. Main password. And security, two-factor authentication, Google Authenticator. Now, just because it says Google Authenticator doesn't mean we have to use Google Authenticator. Like I said earlier, I don't prefer Google Authenticator, but I'm going to use it for the purposes of the demonstration. If you want to use Google Authenticator, it's important that you print this code and keep it somewhere safe, because this is a way of backing up your two-factor authentication. Okay? Your phone uses this code to generate your two-factor authentication passwords. So what I'm going to do here is bring in my Android, well, my mock Android phone here, and download the Google Authenticator. And there it is. Install. And open. So here I am in my Authenticator account. So what you would do at this point is scan a barcode, and you would then take a picture of this code right here, and that would automatically enter in the information that your phone needs to generate your second factor key, or your second passwords, basically. But I'm going to have to do it manually for purposes of this demonstration. Okay, so this is what it'll look like for you once you take a picture of that code. And what we have here is some numbers and a little time clock here. This counts down 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds this code will change. That's your two-factor authentication code. So you take that code, right now it's 806397 for me, and you would enter it right here. And I forgot what it said. 806397. Gotta do it quickly. 806397. Enter. Okay, so that verifies that you copied the code correctly and everything's working. Okay, so you're good. Now let's try it out. We log out. I'm going to log back in. Same password. Now, Google Authenticator. We take that out. And I want to wait for this to count down to 0. Okay, 400757. 400757. And there you go. You're back into your wallet. I also like to back up my online wallets in case they get lost or something like that. What you can do here is over here where it says paper, you would hit paper and then print this page out. This would be a hard copy version of your Bitcoin wallet, so you have it in your possession just in case blockchain ever goes down or something like that. Okay, so this is I'm going to take the time here to explain what these are. You have two here now. Now this is the one that we saw earlier, that is your public address or your public account number. People use this code, they scan it onto their phone in order to send you money, or they can use this address to send you money. This code is the private code. This is your private bank account number that you do not want to share, because anybody who has your private key has your Bitcoins. Okay, so you don't want to show this off. I'm showing this off right now because I'm never going to use this account for anything other than demonstrating. Okay, so you print that out. So now you have a hard copy with you. Now that paper wallet is not as secure. It's not a true paper wallet, I wouldn't say, because it is a wallet that also exists online. And I'll be talking about the different kinds of wallets and the pros and cons of each in a later video. So as a recap of this little lesson, we talked about Bitcoin security and how you are your own bank, so there is no insurance if you lose your money, and that's why it's important to have two-factor authentication. And we talked about the two types of apps that will allow you to do two-factor authentication and the pros and cons of both of those. And we talked about why you need two-factor authentication, because it makes it a lot harder for a hacker to steal your Bitcoins. And then we went over how to start a wallet and some basics about private keys, public keys, and how to use those. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked my first video. It was my first video, so if you liked it, cool, let me know in the comments. If you hated it, let me know why. If you have any suggestions, I'll take them. I love suggestions. Thanks for watching, and my name is Sean, and I am the Coinsultant.